explosion from the impact drowned out everything else in the attic.
My question is, no one else in the house
The
here, you're
attic
seeing any of
rained
this?
down with countless pieces of paper.
How's it going, everybody? Speaker here, and welcome back to some more SCP Secret Files. When we last left off, we'd done our training, and now we're on to the real deal. Now, this is technically episode 3, because actually the Hanged Man's, or the Hanged King's Tragedy, which is the demo level, comes straight after the tutorial. And while there were a few new scenes in it, I didn't want to re-record it, so that demo footage, I guess, or that demo video is going to be just put in place of episode 2. So technically, welcome back to episode 3 of SCP. Now, from what I understand, now that we've done the actual case, we just need to, take these. Here we go. Enter data regarding the investigation records into the archive system on the right. Method of operation. Click text with the red underline. Then put it here. There we go. So yeah, pretty much, we just record all this to the archive. And there we go. We can now submit the file. We got another talk with these people. How's your first mission, Carol? We can go over it. Okay, so we're going to go with smooth sailing all around. Now I can handle these archives with ease. You know, worse than I expected. What is with this guy? How about taco night for a celebration? So, are we really using a living being as a tool to contain anomalous objects? Hey, MIT boy. I've seen a great many field agents. They are prepared to sacrifice themselves at any time in order to complete the task. Secure, contain, protect. For them, it's a creed worth paying the ultimate price for. And it's our duty to record all of this truthfully and honestly so that people may remember them forever. I understand. This man's a very angry fellow. Anyway. You can move your first mission smoothly. We should celebrate. How about going for a drink? Old place. Count me in. Awesome. Let's get drunk. My inner Irishman's coming out. Hey, how about a taco night? Or donut night? Oh, so there's no actual cutscenes of us talking to the people. We just actually all got together. To celebrate the completion of my first ever archive mission, all my colleagues threw a small party. It all started to grow on me, my colleagues in this place. I started to really enjoy all of it. Maybe it was all the drinking. I dreamt I was lost in a strange cave. It was dark and damp and smelled of decay. And in the depths of darkness, I saw at all times 2 red dots monitoring my every move. What a strange dream. Tequila is too strong of a drink. I need an espresso to sober me up. I do like what they've done with this game, actually. And the way they've, constructed it, it could just literally be infinite DLCs. Every time someone wants an SCP, well, you know, you can get the DLC for that SCP. So it's a really good idea how they've done this. We're going to have to see now what the next SCP is all about. Okay, files. Alrighty, what's this one about? Enter data regarding thing? Okay. Object is an irregular clay pot with height of 23. But before this, it's an organism, a womb, an earthen womb. SCP may be safely stored in a standard state deposit box, providing its mouth remains covered with an inert perspex disc and sealed with tamper-proof tape. Log of tests involving human experimentation. Oh, let's give it a read, actually. Sound condition, skin flap harvested from the left eye of the cadaver. Donor was healthy of all aspects prior to death. 2 months duration. Data biopsies indicate viability of the samples. Cell samples taken from tissue graft are cultured in vitro, revealing a predisposition towards precancerous and cancerous growth. Okay. 2 months duration. Graft down to torso declassed personnel with 2nd and 3rd degree burns. Among testing report had no contradictions with SCP-660. Result, tissue graft takes without complication, healing according to usual steps of adherence, serum inhibition, and revascularization. However, as is common with severe burn cases, the compromised skin barrier led to infection and eventual fatal septic shock. Oh, okay. Skin will return to full histological structure and function had the recipient survived. Oh, okay. So it's pretty much like... I have no idea what it's all about. Like, are they just putting skin samples into the pot to basically preserve them? That's kind of freaky. But, yeah, let's just go and put this right here. There's the description. And we get our entire thing here with all the redacted information, too. And is there anything else I'm missing? Yes, it's safe. So we get a name, a description, and its classification, and then we can submit the file. The trees are grown on site from saplings obtained from plants. Oh, is this the living trees? Or the blade? Oh, no, there's a blade grove. Okay. 1, 4, 3. We water twice every day on a regular basis via a large sprinkler system unless it's already watered by local precipitation. Maybe this is the stuff that we actually saw on Pony Island, that shit. The trees that were breaking loose. Okay, there's another one. And then log of items in by testing phase. 800 yen entered for search item. Or for each item. This means it sends every 2 minutes. 261 is attached to power. Means maximum 10 times per 24-hour period. With no transaction value exceeding the equivalent of 500 Japanese yen. However, in view of the necessity of the experiment, the Foundation has approved doctors' request to use it at a high frequency. And it just brings out the items. So pretty much you put in money and it materializes items. And let me guess, is it safe? Nothing else. How awful. Let's call it an end. Yeah, it's safe. Oh, wait, no, it killed some people. A liquid bomb. Right. No tasks. We're done. Okay. So it's 5 minutes to 4 o'clock now. Just about ready. Again, you're not coming? Nah. This man is just like such a downer. Doesn't suit me. Hey, Carl. How's it going? The monthly lecture. Someone famous to hold lectures to share new knowledge and insights pertaining to SCPs. For this month's lecture, they invited Dr. Trevor. He holds a high reputation within the Foundation. I'll send you a link to the monthly lecture in just a sec. Okay, and then we can enter in. Daniel and... Oh, wait, isn't this the... I think I know this SCP. This is the, maybe? Let's see. Am I correct about this? We'll find out. I used to watch, like, a lot of these SCP, actual breakdowns. I think I know this one. We'll have to see if I'm correct.
There are many stories in this world. Some are read widely all over the world. Some are hidden in dust and known only by a handful of people. Today I'm going to tell you a story no one else has heard before. A real story of mystery and wonder and adventure. And then you too will become the guardian of this story. The story takes place in a world of long ago. The hero of our story is a little boy. His name is Daniel. One day, out of nowhere, Daniel got a serious case of chickenpox. It made him look like a strawberry. To make sure he didn't spread it to others, Mrs. Page, the principal, had him isolate in an attic. And so, in the attic he lived, all on his own.
Mr. Daniel, while up here in this attic, you'll have plenty of time to practice your penny whistle. I hope you practice well and prepare for next month's art festival.
But Mrs. Page, the melody is so difficult.
Don't give up, boy. You don't give up before you fight.
Oh, okay. We can actually... Oh, we're controlling the storybook pages. That's cool.
Reluctant at first, but he trusted Mrs. Page, and he knew he should listen. And so he practiced the penny whistle.
Oh, we actually have to do a song? What the hell? Okay. Oh god, I didn't sign up for Guitar Hero. I could be wrong, but this might be like the Paper Dragons. I'm not too sure. At least that's the SCP I think it is. still don't know how to feel about this. This is so weird. Okay. There, we did it. It was terrible, but we did it.
Suddenly, he heard some strange noises in the corner of the attic.
Huh? Who's there?
Daniel decided to go over and take a look.
Okay. Oh, we have to move. Right, okay. Oh. So the art style is different for every SCP story. That's pretty cool. Okay, so in the corner. Take a look.
It was a mousetrap, and there was a red origami paper dragon inside of it. Daniel
Yeah, it's a little
carefully
box of
removed
magic or
it.
something, if I remember correctly.
It was
book.
marvelous and beautiful. The only problem was part of its wing was damaged. But Daniel found a way to repair it.
Okay, let's repair it then. Oh god, what the hell's going on here? Okay, choose items to repair the paper dragon. Okay, Okay, right, what next?
Daniel held the repaired paper dragon high up in the air, imagining that it soared over all the world below.
Ain't gonna question where it even showed
He
up now.
played and played with the paper dragon.
Wee! Woo! Dragon! Soar!
In the warm afternoon sun, Daniel had to fight his eyelids just to keep them open.
Could it be? Or is this all just a dream?
Is the paper dragon alive?
The next day,
Oh,
with
okay, something
boredom and
different, okay.
loneliness weighing him down, he began to fiddle with the old radio.
I'm trying to follow this, but I'm just not sure. I should probably just stop trying to guess.
Our town is located in the plains, where earthquakes are not particularly common. Although there are 17 fault zones around us, they are all inactive.
Okay, I'm gonna move here. We have another piece of paper.
A scrunched up ball of paper rolled over to his feet.
Where did this paper ball come from?
Just as Daniel went to pick it up, the ball suddenly came to life, and it rolled away. Daniel chased after it.
See, I wouldn't trust that. I would just be like, nah, you know what? This is too weird. I don't like it. Okay, let's chase after the ball of paper that is moving of its own volition. Give me a little shit. Oh, okay.
Just as he was about to seize the rolling paper ball, suddenly, terrible sparks erupted from it. Before his very eyes, the paper ball began to grow, bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I get the fuck out of there, I think.
At that moment, a red figure suddenly appeared. The red figure quickly subdued the paper ball and threw it into a cardboard box. Daniel studied the red figure carefully.
Yeah, so it is the box of origami
It
creatures.
had a sticker on its fluttering wing. It was the paper dragon.
I wasn't dreaming. Thank you for saving me.
Daniel was grateful and very happy. He walked closer to the paper dragon, but the paper dragon seemed timid and afraid and backed away. Just then, Daniel had an idea.
Don't make me play music for it. My music skills are bad as this.
He took out his penny whistle and slowly played a tune.
Oh no. Okay, here we go again. Just gotta try not to be absolutely terrible at this. I'm really bad at this. Holy shit. I've never really been good at rhythm games, honestly. So, probably not a good idea to communicate to a small little paper dragon, or whatever it is, through said actual rhythm games. Good tune, though. Oh god, yeah, I'm so bad at this, oh my lord.
The paper dragon enjoyed the sound very much. It began to move along with the rhythm, flipping up and down in the air.
Well, it obviously has no taste.
Soon the two were playing and dancing, just like old friends.
Oh.
The paper dragon traced out a beautiful arc in the air,
And
communicating with Daniel in a unique way.
turned into a piece of paper.
My cherished friend, after many long years, we finally meet again. Tell me, how has your family been? A great thank you for playing that music for me. You know how I love the beautiful rhythm of that instrument. But we ought to take precautions, as the room is not stable. Do you still remember how the room works? You're welcome to visit anytime.
Yeah, okay, it is this SCP, right?
The piece of paper then changed back into the shape of a paper dragon and flew into the cardboard box. The box closed shut, and a calm silence was restored to the attic. Daniel rushed to find a watercolor pen and marked the box with excitement in his fingertips.
Here be dragons. Yep.
Over the next few days, the paper dragon came out often to play with Daniel. During this time, Daniel introduced many of his friends to the paper dragon.
That cat's name is Mrs. Carter. Ever since I secretly fed her some fish for dinner, we've been good friends. That's Duke, Mrs. Jessica's pet. He doesn't like Rainy Day or Mrs. Carter. Only smoked sausages fit his taste. And now, we are friends too. My name is Daniel. What's your name?
The paper dragon flapped its wings, as if it didn't understand him.
Well, since you like the sound of the penny whistle so much, why don't I just call you Penny? I'll keep practicing to make it sound better.
Daniel and Penny then played baseball together in the attic.
Let's play cat.
That's a terrible idea. This is a terrible idea. That dragon is getting absolutely slapped. Wait. Oh, okay. Okay. Hold these chairs. Okay, never mind. This dragon's got some fucking skills. So if we just toss it over there. Actual gamer dragon. I thought it was gonna just get destroyed by the piece of paper.
But just as they were in the middle of enjoying themselves, a violent shaking suddenly rose from the ground.
Uh-oh.
The stubborn earthquake is back at it, folks, and it seems even stronger than last time.
At this moment, the box suddenly shot open, and thick clouds of smoke billowed out, followed by several paper balls.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Penny attacked the paper balls without a moment's hesitation and promptly threw them back into the box. Penny then flew around in front of Daniel and rushed right back into the box. As the box closed, the earthquake stopped. Facing a friend's farewell without a formal goodbye, Daniel felt confused and lost. He moved the box to the center of the attic. Facing it, he practiced his penny whistle, day in and day out.
I was kind of expecting us to actually go into the box, you know, into the thing, but I guess not. It doesn't happen.
As the days went by, Daniel's playing became smoother.
Oh, please don't make me play more.
One day, the box suddenly began to move.
Huh?
1,
Oh?
2, 3, 4. This time there were 4 paper dragons. But they weren't alone. Enemies began to jump out of the box too.
Earthquake! Another earthquake! This time it's reached a magnitude of 5.8!
In that small attic, the 4 paper dragons fought fiercely against the paper balls. This time, the paper balls used new tactics. They clumped together into a single monstrous ball of paper. It began to shoot strong bursts of electric sparks at the paper dragons as they flew through the air. As they were hit, the paper dragons fell from the air, one after the other.
Well, we could just set the paper ball on fire, problem solved, but I guess not.
Seeing the injured paper dragons, Daniel felt very distressed and anxious. Just then, one of the paper dragons painfully started to fly and gathered the remainder of its power. The paper dragon transformed into a great beam of light and dove straight down to pierce through the monstrous paper ball. And then came another paper dragon. The monstrous paper ball was blasted to bits, exploding into smaller paper balls. Trembling, they struggled to escape back into the box.
However, the paper dragon's dead.
The sacrificed paper dragons were reduced to swirling shreds of paper, and a silence pervaded. Peace and tranquility were restored once again to the attic. Daniel saw the remaining 2 paper dragons lying on the floor, badly wounded. He rushed to grab some stickers and treated them at once.
Man's gonna patchwork the hell out of these paper dragons. So yeah, I think obviously this is supposed to be based on SCP games, but at the same time, I think it's definitely gonna be a case that like,
Suddenly, countless paper dragons began to gush from the box. The 2 wounded paper dragons were repaired and began to fly. Like 2 colored threads, they merged with the other dragons, flying in unison. The dragons moved like a tide, flying freely through the attic. Daniel eagerly took out his penny whistle. He showed all his paper dragon friends the results of his hard work and practice.
oh no, not again. Okay, here we go. Time to be absolutely terrible at whistles. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong button. So I'm starting to feel like the SCP Secret Files is just more documented in the case of the SCP, not exactly the horror elements of it, like we've actually seen with other SCP games. I'm kind of okay with that. Like, it's an interesting concept to actually just get the stories behind it, of the first encounters. Even if it is kind of like, yes, SCPs are supposed to be spooky, but this one's like less than spooky. Like the first one, Penny Island, was kind of, or Pony Island even, was like actually horrific. But then we get this one where it's like a nice reprieve. So I have a feeling the next SCP we do or have to deal with is going to be actually fucking terrifying. I get that feeling. So I guess we get to enjoy this while we can. And as expected, I am bad with this. Just don't show a high score if other people have done it, please.
In the sweet melody of his playing, Daniel felt himself enter into the world of dragons.
Oh, we're actually here now. Okay. I guess it's a piece of paper that will give us some information.
The paper dragons merged into a long letter and floated down towards Daniel to tell their story.
Alrighty, let's give it a read, so.
After the last war, the fantasy world enjoyed a long spell of peace and stability. But now, the giants have returned. They have launched ferocious attacks, trying to invade your world through the room. We are prepared to launch the final defense. Then we will have to destroy your room, for it is the last remaining entryway into your world. Please believe this farewell will only be temporary. We will not be apart forever, and we will never forget our eternal mission of protecting you.
Right, okay. So yeah, similar story to the SCP video then.
At that moment, the paper dragons flew back into the box.
And the box sets itself on
Daniel
fire or something.
still couldn't fully understand what the paper dragons had meant, but he had a vague feeling in his heart that he may never see his new friends again. A few days later, Daniel's chickenpox had fully recovered. He could now play the penny whistle very, very well. But the paper dragons never returned.
So we put stuff in the bag, do we? Oh, right, there we go. Bricks, baseball, toy book, and our books. There we go. All ready for school.
Maybe it was time to leave and move on.
Earthquake warning! Magnitude 6.2! A massive earthquake is hitting our town! All townspeople, please leave your houses immediately and move to safe open spaces!
Uh-oh.
Just then, countless paper dragons shot from the cardboard box. However, it seemed like they were under attack, spinning and falling through the air in confusion.
What's happening?
Daniel quickly grabbed the stickers out from his bag and did his best to heal the injured paper dragons.
This is, Fuck, okay, so we gotta, like, heal them, do we? I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Oh, wait, there's one there. So a lot of them are just gonna die. We have to actually, like, fix them. Or the ones we can, okay. Which is a war medic in the Paper Dragon War, it would seem. A lot of them are fucking dying, though. All of them? There's one over there. We can't sprint in case we run over one of them. Oh.
But the paper balls swarmed together and pushed Daniel away, subduing him firmly in the corner. He couldn't move. Suddenly, ominous clouds rose from the box, and a violet lightning flashed through the room. The figure of a giant slowly emerged from the thick clouds, and the entire attic became overwhelmed with its evil aura.
The earthquake is growing stronger, now with a magnitude of 7.1. Heaven almighty, are we doomed?
Probably yes.
The giant unleashed its power maniacally. The paper dragon struggled against it, with no means of fighting back.
Yeah, they're probably done for.
At this critical moment, 2 paper dragons shined brilliantly. Together, they heroically crashed their bodies into the giant.
Didn't do much though, did it?
Daniel thought the giant had been defeated by the paper dragons, but soon he found that things would probably not be so simple. The giant's figure could still be seen in the thick smoke, looking evil and terrible. The attacks of the paper dragons had had no effect, and the giant had only grown stronger. It fought back with a new ferocity. The paper dragons were simply no match for it.
The earthquake is growing stronger still. The greatest disaster this town has seen in over 100 years. My heavens, will this nightmare ever end?
Yeah, pretty soon I'll bet actually. This is a giant monster.
With the paper dragons now all but defeated, Daniel spotted a frail figure in the distance. It was Penny. It flew gently in front of Daniel and affectionately rubbed its head against his fingers, as if this whole crisis had never happened. Daniel felt like Penny was trying to tell him something, but he didn't quite understand what. Penny then left Daniel and soared into the air with a determination in its wings.
Oh, it's gonna sacrifice itself
Suddenly,
too.
the other paper dragons seemed to be summoned. They flew through the air, all together in unison, responding to the call without an ounce of hesitation. At that moment, Penny turned into a great red beam and rushed fast towards the giant. The other dragons followed, shining together like a shooting star. At that moment, Daniel seemed to see a real dragon flying.
No!
A huge explosion from the impact drowned out everything else in the attic.
My question is, no one else in the house
The
here, you're
attic
seeing any of
rained
this?
down with countless pieces of paper, the leftover scraps of the paper dragons. Daniel wanted to collect all of the pieces. He thought he could still fix them.
Oh, now that is just grim. Oh, this is terrible. Oh my god. Where's the scraps? This one there. There. I don't know where the remainder of the scraps are. Ah, there it is. Any of the pieces of the paper dragons were missing? Oh, I actually feel awful looking at this. Jeez. Okay. So. There, 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 and there. Questions.
My friend.
Aw. That's awful. Oh my god.
The nightmare is over. The earthquake has stopped. With God's mercy, our town is safe. We thank you, Lord, for your protection.
Should be thanking the paper dragons, goddammit.
A few days later, the art festival was held as scheduled. Daniel attended the show with his penny whistle.
Please don't make me play again.
And now, Daniel Trevor will perform a penny whistle solo of a song titled Fly With Me.
Oh no. I'm already nervous. Alright, here we go. I refuse to believe, by the way, that a penny whistle actually sounds this good. Let's see if we can perfect it in honor of the dragons, I guess. Oh, and now we get in the memories of the dragons too. God damn it. Yeah, I actually think this is one of the cooler SCP stories. Like, I like how, like, not every SCP story has to be, like, about a horrible monster looking to kill you. And then some of them are just chill. I think one of my favorite ones is the machine that can upgrade anything, I'm pretty sure. And it's actually in SCP... Oh, I can't remember. Containment Breach? You had to upgrade key cards and stuff. I do like it like that, you know? Kids hallucinating.
And that's how the story ends. Now, you might be wondering, what happened next? Are there still paper dragons in the world? Well, that's a difficult question to answer. But I believe that they are still protecting us somewhere in this world, just like they promised they would, forever, into eternity.
Yeah, like from what I remember of the there we go. That was a good one. I like that. But from what I remember of the actual thing there, it's like the box was already in SCP containment and the dragons came out and the researchers were all amazed by it. But then slowly the dragons had their war going on. And then that's what happened is like the SCP researchers were kind of like a secondhand witness. It's pretty cool though. I know some of these are going to be like really chill and not actually like proper spooky. I'm okay with that because I do like the SCP games. So let's see what these guys have to say. Dragons, soar. What lovely paper dragons. I love them so much. Me too, but what happened to those little cute ones? Is now being contained at the Reliquary Research Institute where Dr. Daniel is supervising director. That core box has remained silent. How do you know all this, Gent? I think you didn't attend the monthly lecture. Under the direction of Secretary Gent spent 2 years researching SCP-1762, so he knows far more than we do. Wow. I told you all that particular SCP didn't suit me. Oh, come on. Imagine he's hanging up files and piles of cute little fairy books. It's kind of adorable. Stress the point again. That material did not suit me. Oh, something obviously happened. I've been here a month now and I'm entirely just this job. Though the content of my work is simply process archive files, it is work that will never bore me. A few absurd jokes aside, many of the archives are really fascinating. I've been having hallucinations lately. I feel like someone is calling me, a voice low and uncertain. They seem to be trying to communicate with me, but I cannot understand a single word they say. In fact, I plan on seeing a doctor, but Zoe told me the typical rookie syndrome will clear up in a few days. I certainly hope that's the case. I notice how things are degrading, kind of things. So I have a feeling that there's something going on here that we don't know about and we don't want to be dealing with. But I guess we'll have to find out anyway. That, however, will probably be in the next episode. Because I think now we're just going to have to put these in the filing, I think. Yeah, we got files here. So I think what we're going to have to do is finish the video here. And then we will get into it in the next one. Some of these, as I said, they're not going to be like really spooky and SCP-like. But they're still going to be pretty fun, you know? I actually rather enjoyed that one. And I hope you enjoyed watching the video too. If you did, of course, please make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more SCP Secret Files. From what I understand, it says it's like 5 or 6 at the moment. And they're going to be adding more as DLC as it comes along. Which honestly, I think is pretty great value for what they've actually charged this game. It's only like a tenner, I think. So they actually did a really good job. And the quality is actually pretty amazing. So I'm very well surprised by this as it is, you know? But yeah, that's really it. I hope you enjoyed the video, boys. If you did, as I said, do below. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching. And bye-bye for now. Okay, let's chase after the little ball of paper that is moving of its own volition. Come here, little shit.
Just then, Daniel had an idea.
Don't make me play music for it. My music skills are bad as it is.
He took out his song with the rhythm, flipping up and down in the air.
Well, it obviously has no taste.
Soon the two were playing and dancing.
Like cat.
That's a terrible idea. This is a terrible idea. That dragon is getting absolutely slapped. Wait. Oh, okay. Okay. Hold these charge. Okay, never mind. This dragon's got some fucking skills. So if we just toss it over there.
But just as they were in the middle of enjoying themselves, a violent shaking suddenly rose from the ground.